I'd love it if you had, 2 blocks, a strap, 1 or 2 blankets. If you have access to some sort of a chair, that would be helpful. And, or it could be a high table or something like that nearby your practice spot. That would also work. So I'm going to move this chair out of the way for now. I just put it there. What I'll try to do often will put out the props that I want you to have so that you can get them before class. All right. Well, happy Earth Day to each of you. I always thought a good Earth Day would be one where we cannot, we don't do as much. So maybe that is what we're getting right now for Earth Day, is just a time when there's less activity on the earth. And I hope that you will get out today and get to enjoy what's happening around you in regards to seeing the earth, connecting that way. We're also in the season of kapha, which is the qualities of more dense, smooth, oily, moist. And in this season, we want to do some movement. So you may have seen in our practice that we're doing a lot more vigorous movement. So that'll be part of our practice as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a comfortable seat. You're welcome to close your eyes and cast your gaze down. And connect to the ground beneath you. Notice where you feel the connection to the earth. Can you find the weight on your sit bones? And can you reach all the way down into the ground? And from that connection to the earth, lengthen your spine up towards the sky. Deepen your inhale. And lengthen your exhale. Can you rest your attention into your connection to the earth? And then can you also notice the muscles and bones that are moving with your inhale? So you feel the muscles and bones, you feel some space that moves when you're inhaling. And can you also notice with the exhale right above your pubic bone, below your belly button, tone that comes up through the front of the spine, all the way up the front of your spine. So that no matter whether you're inhaling and you feel that expansion, and when you're exhaling, can you also feel the spine staying long, reaching all the way up, that the length of your spine isn't changing that much on your inhale or your exhale. And let me share The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry for Earth Day. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free. And honoring your coming to your mat this morning, please bring your hands together in front of your heart. Still staying connected to the ground, lengthening your spine to the sky, deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. And you might notice the quality of your mind as you take your seat this morning. As Wendell Berry talks about the stillness of the water. So you might notice. To open the practice this morning, I'll chant the sound of Om, using the vibration of sound, moving through the central channel. And I'll sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings in all realms find peace, joy, love, and may my words and actions support this. So taking a deep inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. And then release your hands and lift your gaze. So to begin class this morning, let's open the spine with some simple twisting. So if you'll go ahead and inhale the arms halfway out. And with your exhale, you're going to twist towards your right. Your right hand might come behind you, your left hand across. Deep breathing. Can you notice the breath? Can you feel it in the left side of your body? Where is it? What's it doing? And then let's exhale and come back to center. Inhale the arms halfway again. And exhale, turning towards your left. Keeping your breath moving deeply. With your next exhale, come back to center. So now you might want a block off to your, we'll call this your right. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Lengthen all the way from your left sit bone through the left side ribs, all the way through the left arm. And as you exhale, start to reach up and over towards your right side. So you might have the hand on the floor, you might have your hand on a block. Can you deepen the breath all the way through the rib cage on the left, also the back lower left ribs. And then inhale, rise up. And exhale, release both arms. Release that arm. Inhale, lift your right arm. Reach down into the left sit bone, lengthen through your left side. And exhale, side bend. This is your second side. And with your next inhale, come back up. Lift both arms out to the side. Exhale, release both arms. Inhale, reach the arms straight ahead. Exhale, let's pull the hands towards you, clasp your hands. Reach your arms away from you, open the palms. Inhale, lift both arms up. Reaching into the ground, lengthening up through the sides. Another deep inhale, and with the exhale, go ahead and release both arms out to the sides, drawing the fingernails back, lengthening out the heel of the hand. Great. One more time. We'll take the arms forward, change the clasp. Inhale, draw the palms towards you. Exhale, reach them away. Inhale, lift both arms. And exhale, release the arms. Relaxing both hands, resting the hands on the tops of the thighs, closing your eyes for a moment. So once again, just kind of tap into your own inner self, like your own inner weather pattern. And then we're going to go ahead and come up to standing. You can move your blankets out of the way if they're there. We're going to come up to standing. And we're going to take another breathing practice in standing. In this breath practice, we're going to be inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth like you're exhaling out a straw. So let's do this. Inhale, take the arms wide and start to rise up on the balls of the feet. Inhaling, inhaling all the way up. And as you exhale, bring the hands back, Anjali Mudra, and the heels slowly descending to the ground. So that'll be the inhale will be coming up on the balls of the feet, and your exhale out the straw breath as you lower the heels back down. Here we go. Inhale, lift both arms. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale again. In through the nose. Lift the heels. Lift your arms. And then the exhale slowly out the mouth, like you're blowing out a straw, slowly descending the heels. Let's do 3 more. Take your time as you do the 2 more, balancing. But also noticing on the exhale, some tone in the deep belly. Last one. Coming back to center, relaxing both arms. Standing in mountain pose. I'm just gonna play with the light here just a little bit. Just noticing in mountain pose, can you still connect to the ground? And then let's go ahead and step the feet wide apart. And we're gonna take a warrior 2, excuse me, rising warrior. So let's step the feet wide apart. Turn your right foot out and your left foot in. Inhale, take the arms out. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale in warrior 2. Stay there for the next exhale. And then we'll relax the back arm. Inhale, rising warrior. Inhale, back to warrior 2. And we'll exhale, straighten your front leg. Spin the feet the other direction. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, warrior 2. And with an inhale, rising. Staying there during your exhale. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Inhale, lift both arms, straighten the front leg. Exhale, spin your left foot in, release the arms. Let's take hands on the hips. Lift through the top of the breastbone, inhale deeply, exhale, bow forward. So now you're in your wide-legged forward fold. Inhaling deeply there, exhale, bowing all the way forward. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine forward, lift at the top of the breastbone, exhale again, bowing. One more time, inhale halfway up. And exhale, folding forward. Walk the hands back or on blocks or on the ground till they go like they're gonna walk in between your feet. Can you balance the weight between the heel of the foot and the ball? And relax the back of your neck. And then walk your hands back out. Shift them up to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, step your feet back together. Tadasana. All right, bring your blocks towards the top of your yoga mat. I'm going to go sideways, but you're going to be, you can be facing forward. Make sure. Okay. And so coming to the top of the mat, bring your hands in front of your heart. And again, can you notice how the weight is falling into your footprints? So reach into the ground, lengthen through the crown of your skull. And with your next inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step your right foot back for a low lunge with the back knee lifted. So we were working last week, I think it was last week or something, where we were talking about in the low lunge, can the pelvis be turned ever slightly towards the back, the leg that's back. So in this, you can play with it. You can go, if I turn my pelvis towards my left leg, what does the inner hip joint feel like? And sometimes we have to do that if we're doing a twist. But right now, I'm going to just encourage you in this moment anyway, that you're going to pick up the back heel and turn the pelvis just a tad to the right, just a little bit to the right, and see if you can feel any difference at the inside of your left hip. And then we're going to inhale, step forward, and exhale, step the left foot back. So the right knee it's almost over the ankle, but not quite. It's a little behind it, the forward knee. We're just paying attention to what's happening in the hips right now. So if you notice the front hip inside the joint, and just a very slight turn of the pelvis towards the left. Still connecting to the ground. So how does the right foot connect to the ground? And when I'm really connected into the whole right heel, what do I notice in my body? Then we're going to step back to downward facing dog. You could either use your hands on blocks, or you might have your hands on the ground. Inhaling deeply. And with your next exhale, step your feet forward towards your hands. Inhale halfway up and exhale forward fold. Shift your hands to your hips and inhale, come all the way up. Exhale your hands back in front of your heart. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down, Uttanasana. Even there, you see your footprints. Inhale halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, you're welcome to have hands on blocks or hands on the ground. Inhale, lift your right leg. Come up on the ball of the left foot. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, come upright. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bow forward. Step back, downward facing dog. Drop your attention again inside your body. So you can notice what the right side of your body, how does it feel through even the front of the right hip. Let's inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, upright. Inhale the arms back out. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead by the ears. Exhale, hands back in front of the heart. Let's take your strap. If you have a strap or a belt or a scarf, can we take that and do a shoulder opener? So taking your strap, inhale, lift it halfway. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Take the hands wider on your strap. Bend both elbows. And bring in your attention right to the top of the breastbone. Lift the top of the breastbone. Broaden across the collarbones. And start to take the wrists back. Your next inhale, lift your arms all the way up. And exhale, bring the arms down. And you can take your strap or belt and just put it in one hand, stand in mountain pose. And once again, you can notice what is the quality. What is the inner quality right now after you've done a little bit of movement before, from when we were sitting at the beginning of class, and now just checking in on your own inner weather. I'm trying to cultivate that sense of peace, the sense of peace that he talks about in the poem, and that we often feel when we are in nature. All right, and then we'll go ahead and sit that strap aside. And we're going to take one more sun salutation, one more full salutation where we come down through cobra pose. So again, facing towards your blocks, top of your mat, and the hands in front of the heart. When you're ready, inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg from the right inner thigh, lifting the right leg all the way up. You come up on the ball of your left foot. Exhale, bring the right knee to your chest and all the way forward. And it might take you 1 or 2 little moves to get the foot forward. When you're ready, inhale, upright. Inhale, the arms wide. Exhale, plank pose. All the way down with your exhale, you arrive in plank. Lightly touch your knees to the ground. And exhale, bring your chest down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press to all fours. Exhale, plank and downward facing dog. So in your downward dog, or maybe you're in puppy pose, breathe deeply. You're actively reaching. So the shoulder blades wrapping around your rib cage. Can you actively reach all the way into your finger pads and your knuckles? And can you take your rib cage away from your hands? So you strongly reach to the hands, but the rib cage, can you slide it back toward the pelvis? And then with your next inhale, lift your left leg. And exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, upright lunge. Inhale the arms out. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands in front of your heart. And then release both arms. All right. So can you take either a chair or maybe there's a high table or something like that. You might be facing this chair. I'm actually going to turn it sideways so that you can better see what I'm doing. Because I'm going to take Astapada Gustasana with the foot up at the back of the chair. And oftentimes I'll set this up so it'll be against a wall. The back of the chair would be against the wall. This morning, I've just set it up because I think you can see me better. And what I'd like you to do is, let's see, first let's just stand in Tadasana for a moment. Let me see if I can give you some idea here. If you shift your weight onto your right leg and just take your left toes back a little and firm at your right inner thigh towards the outside of the right hip, the greater trochanter. Firm those two together. When you firm those together, can you feel some length come into the front of this right hip, the standing leg hip? And on the back side, do you feel the pelvis is starting to already kind of turn? You can come back to standing on both legs, facing straight ahead. And then shift your weight to your left leg. Just step the right toes back just a bit. You're still standing over your left leg. And then, so from the inner thigh of the left leg, draw it toward the inner left leg. Firm the outer right into midline. So like you're coming into the core of the leg. Yeah. And then come back to standing. All right, we're gonna stand. So right now, I'm gonna have you stand on your left foot. Your left foot, if you face the chair, the left foot is turned at about 45 degrees. So that's gonna be the standing leg is turned at about 45. And when I put my right foot up on the back of this chair, I don't want my left ankle to be directly under me. I actually want it to be a little bit off, a little bit out from me. So on the lifted leg, we worked, last week we were taking the pelvis away from, the inner thigh. We were taking the pelvis away from this lifted leg right now. So, lengthen all the way up. See if you can reach your right inner thigh towards your right knee and all the way towards the right inner heel. And on the right outer heel, this lifted leg, just lifting a little bit up towards the right knee. Then let's take the arms wide. Relax your right arm, lift your left arm. Take the arms wide again. Let's imagine for a moment that the right leg is the standing leg and the right hand is going to be going for half moon. So you're gonna turn your torso towards your left. Still reaching out the right inner thigh, the one of the lifted leg, toning the outside of the right hip, the greater trochanter towards midline. And then release your arms. Take the leg from the chair or the table and stand on both legs. And if there's a question, ask a question. I wish I could, and I'm hoping you can see me okay. Let's see where my glasses are. Any questions before we do the other side? I'm going to move my chair. Okay, so the right leg's going to be the standing leg. And it's turned, it's at about, compared to my chair, it's turned a little. It's not facing the chair and it's not facing straight out to the side. It's facing more at a 45. So you're going to shift your weight into your right leg and bring your left leg up on your furniture. And then can the right leg, the right ankle be a little behind you, not directly under you? Because you want to be able to lengthen into both. I'm going to move my chair a tad away, like that. All right. So now let's go to the lifted leg. So releasing the pubic bone away from your left inner thigh. Reaching all the way down into the left inner heel. And from the left outer heel, lengthening back up the outside of that leg. Let's inhale the arms out. Let's inhale, lift your right arm up, left arm down. Just for a moment. Then inhale, take the arms wide again. And can you imagine that your left leg right now is the standing leg in Ardha Chandrasana half moon? Turn the heart towards the right, turn the manubrium. Still reach out the left inner thigh towards the inner foot. Tone the outside of the greater trochanter on the left towards the adductors. They're both toned on the lifted leg. And then we'll relax that. Bring that foot down. And you're welcome to, if you'd like to use the chair or the ground, you're going to take a downward facing dog. Still reaching the shoulder blades toward the upper arm bones, all the way to the hands, even though they might be wrapped around a chair. Pubic bone, is the pubic bone on midline? And is it releasing between the inner thighs? And then we'll walk forward. If you're down on the ground, that's fine too. Step the feet forward and come all the way back up to standing. All right, I'm going to move that out of the way. So before we come into half moon, let's take a triangle pose. So if you'll step the feet wide apart, you can turn, well, you could go to your right first. So you could have your right foot turned out and your left foot turned in slightly. Have a block at the left outer ankle. Or no, sorry, the right outer ankle. Inhale, take the arms out. Both legs are going to stay straight. So here as you exhale, again, you're moving the pelvis away from the front inner thigh. Tone the adductors. So you lengthen the adductors on the front leg. But you also draw the left greater trochanter towards the midline of the leg. You've done this pose probably many, 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 many times. So in doing it, can you still find a place in your center that has a sense or a quality of the stillness? And then inhale, lift yourself all the way back up. And you're gonna spin the feet to go the other direction. So the block at the right outer ankle. Inhale the arms out when you're ready. Exhale. So as the pelvis moves away from the front thigh, lengthen your right inner thigh. And on the outer hip, the right outer hip draws in. So when this happens, you might even notice how the weight in your front foot, where is it? As opposed to if you shift the weight back to the right outer heel, where often we live in triangle pose. See what that feels like, and then draw the greater trochanter back into the center of the leg so that we're coming more into the core of the leg, and then you might lift your arm up. Keep breathing. Looking for that tone to midline. Good. Is the top of the breastbone turning towards the sky? And then inhale, come up. Yeah. Very good. And then relax your arms. And heel toe or step your feet back together. Let's inhale. We're going to take a forward fold, Uttanasana. Lift both arms. And exhale, come forward and down. In your Uttanasana, notice the back of the pelvis, the back of your sacrum. Is it broad across the back of the sacrum and the back of the pelvis in Uttanasana? And then shift the weight to the hips. And then come all the way back up to standing. So let's take, we're going to take half moon, and I want to take it from Tadasana, basically, just to see if we can have less weight, we rise up out of that standing leg. So if you have your blocks, you'll have those out in front of you, probably 12 or 15 inches away from your feet. And the inside of the block is on the little toe side, is lined up with the little toe side of your footprints. But we're going to start from, so then you're looking there. Shall we stand? Let's go right foot first. So you're going to just take the left foot back, so you're the toes of the left foot. Do I need to review greater trochanter? I hope you guys remember where that is. And we're thinking that the right leg is the standing leg. So if I put my hands at the side of my pelvis, and there's a spot at the side where it just kind of indents slightly, so that's where your greater trochanter is, where that slight indent is at the outside of your right hip. And you might palpate that bony prominence there. So now, let's take the arms and inhale them out. As you exhale, you're going to go ahead and reach into the standing leg, draw the greater trochanter to midline and the inner thigh. You start to pick up your back leg, and the pelvis is already turning a little towards the left. The right hand comes down and finds a block. Now reach strongly through both legs. Reach into the ground. Reach out the standing leg as the standing leg to the ground and the lifted leg all the way out the ball of the foot. Then we're going to come up. We're going to lower that and come all the way back up. Because we're going to do these more than once. So we're just testing the waters. But already you'll feel a lot more heat, I imagine, in the left leg. So now if we shift towards your right leg, shift towards your left leg and take the right toes back. Firm towards the midline of the standing leg, the left leg. Take the arms out. And as you exhale, you're picking up the back leg. The right arm might come back to the right leg. Strongly reach into the ground and out the ball of the right foot, the lifted leg. Come back upright. Hands in front of the heart. Does that kind of stir the water a little bit? Brings like things going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. You might even try, you might try, I'll go sideways here, give you something that you might want to work on. And then we're going to go back to to doing each side one more time. When you shift the weight, so right now I'm shifting my weight to my left. I'm going to take the right arm and I'm going to hold it close to the right side of my body to see if I can keep this right side all in a long plane. So that I'll notice like, oh, if I take my leg too high, there's this arm isn't flush to my body. So let's play with that if you want to. It's going to require a lot more asking more of your balance, but we'll try it. You're going to stand on your right leg first. So there you are again. This time, shift the weight to the right, take the left toes back. You might have your left arm along your thigh. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, reach into the standing leg, firm to the midline of that leg as you pick up the left one. And then you begin, you go, wow, can I turn my upper breastbone towards the left? And then we'll come up. Creates a lot of heat. Let's check the second side. Shift the weight to the left. Right toes on the ground. When you're ready, lift your back leg. Turn your heart. And slowly come up. Good work. Hard stuff. All right, let's come down. I'd like to come down towards either a figure 4 or pigeon pose. So you're either gonna, if you're gonna take pigeon pose, I like to use an open blanket. You're either gonna lie on your back to the figure 4 that many of you already know, or you'll come down to the ground and we'll take the left knee and shin forward. Yeah. Because we're working to broaden the back of the pelvis and hips, so we'll come down onto the forearms. If you're in pigeon, on the back foot, it's your choice whether you decide to tuck the toes under and reach the right heel back, or you could have the top of the back foot on the floor. Can you bring, though, if you drop into your attention into the lower abdomen, can you take your abdominal organs back in your abdomen a little bit? If you're not in pigeon, you're on the ground and you've got maybe the little toe side of the left foot or the left heel at the top of the right knee, that figure 4 outer hip stretch, if you remember that one. So you're either in pigeon or you're in this figure 4. If you're in the figure 4, I would suggest staying in that a little longer. And the rest of you, from pigeon, you're gonna walk your hands up. Yeah. All of us will go ahead, release one side, and take the second side. So if you're in figure 4, you're gonna take your second side. And if you're in pigeon, you're gonna bring the right knee forward. The knee is pointing slightly off towards the right. And you can bring the forearms down to blocks or the ground. If you're in the figure 4, you're going to want a little more weight onto the left side of the sacrum. If you're in pigeon pose, can you draw the lower abdominal organs back in your body to notice if that broadens at the back of the SI joint, at the back of the pelvis? We're looking for more space at the back of the SI. All that standing work we're doing. And then we'll all come out of that. And then you're going to go ahead, if you're in pigeon, you're going to come on your back and join the figure 4 people who are already on their backs. And all of us are going to have both feet on the floor. We're going to take that crocodile twist. So if you'll take the hips a little bit to the right, straighten your left leg, bring your right knee up. So the right foot is probably at the inner left knee. You're twisting the lower body towards the left. Come back to center. Take your second side, so the hips go a little bit towards the left, and you're crossing over. Come back to center again. This time, bring both knees up, and then cross the shins, and take your hands to the outer feet. So the shins are crossed and the hands are at the little toe side of the feet. The knees are inside of my arms. And then switch sides. So switch the cross, which shin is on top. So broad across the back of the sacrum there. And then we're going to bring the knees to the chest. So we uncross the shins. Take the knees wide now, just like a Supta Baddha Konasana, where you hold onto the ankles. Keep the top of the sacrum on the ground. And then bring yourself into your Shavasana. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Allowing your breath to deepen. And gently awakening your body to movement. And use the support of your arms, making your transition over to one side. And taking your time as you use your arms to come back up to sitting. And once again, is tapping into and noticing the quality of your mind and your heart. Bringing your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience with the Zoom scene. Here. Or if you have a question about half moon, you're welcome.